Oh, here we are.
Like, what's
We
going
got
on?
it. I don't know if she's grumpy or if she's grumpy. Oh, there we got an inquisitive wolf over there.
What is that, Willow? What is that?
And she has her own Facebook, right?
Yep, Willow Wolf.
What?
Willow Wolf.
Willow Wolf.
Yep.
And she's in a lot of TV, movie stuff, commercials. And we're going to pull this clutch of eggs. And she's kind of a grumpy girl. I'm trying to get her to relax a little bit, and it's working. She was just struck the camera a minute ago. So Brett here is, he's actually been around. He taught me about Steve Irwin's wife. Where did she came from? You've known her for years.
Yeah, Terry's from Eugene, Oregon, and we used to go to the herp meetings together down in Eugene. And yeah, I was in.
And she came home one day. You told me and said, "I met this crazy."
Yeah, she said, "I got a
Australian
new boyfriend. They're raising snakes." Okay, that's cool. And then she called me from Australia when I was up in Alaska, and she wanted to come over and film. And I said, "Sure, whatever." And she sent me their first tape when they were on their honeymoon, him jumping on crocs in the wild. This guy's crazy. Never had any idea he'd make it on mainstream TV. He filmed at our place.
He has a whole bunch of unseen footage of him, right?
Yeah, we need to get that out there.
Yeah, good plan.
The guy just took off though, amazing guy.
So we're gonna pull this, but you know what else? Something's kind of cool. He actually helps in Oregon with the task force on writing laws for not endangered species, but what's the word? Invasive species. I was thinking erroneous. I couldn't get it out of my head.
Well, what it is, it's called the Wildlife Integrity Task Force. There's a team of about 6 to 8 biologists that are basically determining what animals, based on the invasive species
And what's
problem.
the rule? You guys have a nice little punch sheet.
Well, basically, the bottom line is, as you know, around the world, invasive species is a big problem. Once certain things become established, they can be a big problem. This is what's happened with Burmese in Florida.
Correct.
And so any animal, basically all wildlife is classified in Oregon, and they're either unregulated, absolutely prohibited, or allowed with a permit system. And the way they determine this is they look at several things. One, could the animal survive in the state of Oregon, which is a temperate condition in the state? And if they could survive, what would be the chance of them hybridizing with native wildlife, spreading disease, causing problems? How difficult would it be to eradicate, and that sort of thing.
So you literally make a
scale. It's a scaled risk, but bottom line, anything that is tropical is off that list, because a tropical animal cannot be considered an invasive species in a temperate zone.
But yet somehow the federal government's decided that it's, which there's no basis on anything, but the basis that a tropical animal can live, which I think I talked to one of my friends in Chicago, was minus 23 yesterday, and talked to another friend in Nebraska, it was minus 13 there, and at the end of the day, we're finding out he was down in Florida recently, and what's the newest data down there?
I go to Florida every year, and the population of Burmese has taken off around this one area, isolated area around Miami, because they had a hurricane, went through a couple of the wholesale facilities, that large numbers of Burmese got released. But the interesting phenomenon has happened in the last 2 or 3 years. They had some of the coldest weather ever recorded.
Global warming, guys.
Yeah. But basically, it was cold enough that millions of freshwater and saltwater fish died, over 400 manatees, half the Burmese population, hundreds of thousands of
That's
iguanas.
debatable, because I also found out last week that they're doing studies where they're actually releasing the captive Burmese into the wild in order to try to find the other Burmese. They put trackers in them. And you know, I don't know if they're neutering them, but if they're not neutering them, I don't know how that's helping a problem. And you know, they say, well, we can just go collect our trackers. Maybe they're females. I don't know all the details.
Well, they're called, the Judas snakes. They put
crazy.
But what they do is, during the breeding season, they're following one snake supposedly and finding the others. But I think the bottom take-home message is that they know, this is the first time ever, they know how cold, how long, and morbidity of a whole host of species. So they can know definitively that beyond a certain temperature or low temperature, certain things absolutely can't survive. So the idea
They've only been there 20 years.
Right.
I mean, how long of a study do we need to know they can't come out of the Everglades? Right. I mean, it's kind of silly, but we're going to pull this clutch. And you want to bleed or me?
I like to watch you.
You got long sleeves, you won't see your blood.
Yeah, I'll let you use it.
So this is our captive protegation here, and if you can see, they want to outlaw this too, which is kind of silly. It's albino, so I don't even know why it would even be wildlife, because you know, you catch one albino in 10 years, And the reason why is because they can't live in the wild. We got them in yellow. We're literally taking these snakes and engineering to be opposite of the wild, kind of like a dog today. I mean, half our dogs couldn't live out in the wild either, and they started out in the wild. And I don't know what the definition of domesticated is. And I'm gonna see if I can get this out. And this one here is pretty determined not to give up its eggs. Yeah. Come on, girl. And she laid a nice little clutch. Now we bred this to kind of a cool snake, a solid black snake.
Yep.
And we believe that solid black snake has 3. That was a little risky, but I'll survive. Everybody thinks they're so dangerous. You know what? Venomous snakes are dangerous. This is not a venomous snake. And you know what? Saws are dangerous. And I'm sure I could get a cut from this that make me look like I cut myself. But at the end of the day, it's not that dangerous. And but that doesn't mean I'm going to purposely get bit. I could make it all wild and try to take care of it. But at the end of the day, I'll let Tim get bit. I'll keep him pointed. I have a rule when you're handling a big snake that's actually being aggressive, is I point it away from me like a gun. Because you know what? Guns, barrels should never be pointed at people, and neither should snakes that you're stealing their eggs from them.
Whoa.
So there you go. How you like that? Ta-da! Oh, she's going, I don't like that. She's like figured out, she's figured out I stole her eggs. I just can't understand why she makes her mean.
Oh my goodness.
So, now the funny part is this snake, I guarantee you I could pull it out and let kids play with it. But for obvious reasons, I think if I came to your house and grabbed your kids, you'd probably give me a problem. Some of you might pay me, but the most of you aren't going to pay me. So we're going to take, she could actually get a pretty good strike.
Whoa.
So what I do is I just get myself a shield because, you see, it's actually not for her to bite. If I do this right, she will not bite it, because what happens is I take all her actual direction away, and so if I take her target away, she doesn't know what to do. So the idea is to take her target away first, and then to slowly pull it and not give her an edge for a target. Oh, she bit it anyway. So I didn't get to show you guys what I was talking about. She's really upset. Normally I don't do that, but you usually take their target away, and then they just settle down. Because at some point, if they don't got a target, they give up. So get her kind of back in her box, get her target taken away, she's down. I'm going to go ahead and slide this way. Now, how many countries have you been to?
About 30.
So he's been to 30 countries. I'm going to catch up with you. I might catch up with you, go with you with one of them.
I hope so.
I've been going to a lot of countries lately.
I've been to like 30 cities.
In California? No. You actually
That's
used to
about
do a
it.
lot of trade shows. So, okay, what do you got for animals again?
I got one ball python. I love that ball python.
Don't ask him why. Oh goodness, he's been talking about getting a second one to breed it, and I tell him, leave your one ball python. He's happy, she's happy, it's happy. You're gonna have to bring it in, we'll sex it. What are you doing over there?
What's up?
So is this the girl that might be the permanent girl for a while? Mike, I just ruined your mojo all over the world. Mike over there, Mike Hucker, he's a professional BMX. We're having an after hours party. So they're actually professionals. Also, he's a performer. He does actually a couple things, right? You do mostly magician.
Well, no, actually, we when I said America's Got Talent, I meant America's Most Wanted.
They bought you dinner.
Exactly.
Professional magician. She does belly dancing and help her out in her show, and that's what we had.
With
The one.
snakes.
And you can even go online and buy a book about belly dancing.
Yeah.
Belly dancing. What's the name of
It's
it?
called Believe in Dance.
Believe in Dance. And Ted over there, if you go to his his Facebook, you'll see he's taking the pictures with about half the people that are ever famous. I looked over there, I'm going, man, why are I with him when he's getting all these photos? So we're gonna see how many eggs do we got here, guys. A good question.
Question.
Go ahead.
How firm are the eggs?
Well, you're gonna find out when you come over here and touch them.
You don't worry about when you separate them, the little
Nope.
star there doesn't cause
I don't have any problem. I'm real careful with how I tear them. I'm more concerned about how I mean, obviously, if you tear them open, there's a problem.
Right.
But I don't think we've ever lost an egg from that area, have we?
No.
Yeah. The truth is, that area I think is a little bit more open poured, and it has a tendency of being safer. Sometimes this part here will hold water and get clear spot, and the clear spot will spread out, but it doesn't usually ever start from there.
No.
But what's most important is that they're always facing upward.
Right.
Got a
So,
question, Jerry.
go ahead.
I still only have one ball python. What breed, model, or color, or what version is this the snake?
Well, for instance, this snake here isn't just an albino, but depending on how many genes you want to add to it, it can make a lot more than just an albino. So Tim bred actually a motley. It was a motley and a golden child in one snake, which is a black snake, but they're not black, I think, without another gene, and so it had another snake, and its pos had albino, so we might get a whole bunch of stuff. So it's pos purple, right? Or not?
No.
Pos white.
White.
Pos white. So if it's albino, we'll have albino motleys, albino golden childs. We'll have albino golden child motleys, and we should get a bunch of good snakes out of this. And there's a nice fertile clutch. I don't see one infertile egg. As long as she doesn't sneak her head out there, we'll all be okay.
It's like
You
30
gonna count these
eggs.
for me?
I got her covered.
Don't give it a shot. Yeah, you see that? You almost lit the whole thing up. No making movies for us over here.
Just want to say, Jay, you have nice eggs.
Oh, thank you. I told my wife that, and we had three kids.
You just have to throw that
So
one in.
you're making me a little nervous telling me that. I don't want to have kids with you.
I'm straight.
Are you?
They're married, by the way.
Sit those in there like
Happily
that.
married. What do we got here? Come on, Mike, can you count? Or if you hit the ground too many times and fall asleep? How many times have you been knocked out in the day the worst? He can't remember.
I just lost count.
How many times have you been knocked out?
I have no idea, to tell you the truth.
No, how many times have you been knocked out in one day?
Twice.
Twice.
That happened once. I wasn't good. Back to back. All within about 15 minutes of each other.
And I got a question. Do you remember it? Or did you have somebody tell you?
Now
later?
I remember. I didn't remember it at the time.
Oh,
I
boy.
woke
How
up
many we got?
freaking out thinking we were late.
31 eggs we said here. So let's see if I can count them now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 31. Woo, we can count. So, anyway, goodbye everybody.
Interesting.
Hope you guys had fun with a different
Bye.
video.